I don't know what to do.
Is it on?
Yeah. You're right, they did get rid of that black and white screen they do before.
This is where I choke because the screen's on, camera's on.
Ugh, cause screens
Screen's on.
are.
Stupid.
Ooh, the
Oh.
David Lynch thing was exactly 1 hour.
Isn't that crazy?
Look at us.
If I tried a million years from now to do that.
On the dot? There it is. Oh my God. I don't know why you gotta look at yourself up there.
Because I can read the whatever.
No, you can't.
The chat.
No, you can't.
I thought I could.
You can't. You got nobody here.
I'm crying.
Nobody cares about Secrets of a Married Man.
I don't doubt it. This is for the history books.
You know what you asked me yesterday? I was like, what good movie have you seen recently? And I think I can say without a doubt that this is now my number one.
Really?
Yeah.
We should get you a copy of that.
Can I have this one?
No. I'm not giving up that fancy box.
Oh, it's mine now.
You don't see that often, sir.
It's a nice box. Oh, remind me when I go back to Conway to show you my Duran Duran thing.
What is it?
My little record.
Oh, the 45, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 45. Ow! Why did you do that to me? You gave me the hawk screech.
You just copy everything I do. I didn't
It
give
hurts every time. My asthma and my bone spurs and my knee surgery. I do have a jacked up knee. Which one is your jacked up knee? Right or left?
This one is surgery.
Okay.
But that foot is bone spurs.
So, we have the same leg that is hurt. So you got knee surgery there. Mine is probably going to need knee surgery because I let it heal wrong, and now it's all jacked up.
You're a kook.
Now, anytime I walk too much, I can, feel it throbbing.
Really? Go to the doctor.
I should have gone to the doctor when it was fresh.
When you're doing that brain transplant, have them fix your leg.
I should have. So I was like, what are they going to do?
Brain transplant, or were you going to be a brain donor?
I think you're a brain donor.
Oh.
I thought it was already on your ID card.
I didn't know you were going to flip it around.
Why wouldn't I?
Well, we're fools on film, so we should talk about it, but it's Laser Brains Fools on Film.
I didn't put that in the title.
Ugh.
I just put Fools on Film.
Ooh. Maybe we can change it in post.
Okay. Nobody's here yet.
That's our moniker. There's nobody going to be here.
Nobody's here yet.
People are watching the inauguration YMCA dance. But
texting.
When people want to know about this is the video they're going to pull up out of the archive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
This is mine. Are we starting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are. We're already. I'm about to say hello, Laser Brain, and that's the official beginning. That's
okay.
Out of the pre-show.
Okay.
When I snap my fingers.
What else are we talking about in the pre-show?
I'm all out of talk.
Okay.
The only thing I can talk about is
William
Shatner. All-time best. So hello, Laser Brain.
Hello, Laser Brain.
We're Fools on Film, and this is the film. This is Secrets. Look at that stupid thing. Secrets
of a Married Man.
Of a Married Man, filmed. I think it was a TV movie. It's too late. I'm tired.
Did you already do your brain transplant?
I know. I'm tired. The show's too late. I'm tired. I'm cold. Tired.
Well, we couldn't have done it earlier because we were watching this movie.
Well, way earlier.
It was around 1.
Was it really?
Yeah.
There it is. Now, what I think is funny about this is this was recorded around the time of Star Trek 3.
Mm-hmm.
Before Star Trek 4, he was still T.J. Hooker on TV because Hooker was on.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided to do a TV movie. And one of the people in this is Sybil Shepherd.
Mm-hmm. I heard of that chick.
Before Moonlighting.
And we already talked about Television That Matters. We talked about Moonlighting already. So.
Because she wouldn't have done this movie after Moonlighting, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a low-budget affair. And it's also got Michelle Phillips from The Mamas and the Papas.
I think it was great.
Everybody seen enough of that now?
Yeah, too much.
So.
DVD.
Yeah, it's a DVD. I should probably show you. It's a fancy box, too. It's one of those boxes. Remember the other day I couldn't open that CD?
Mm-hmm.
Same kind of box. And I figured out you just press right there.
Oh, look at you. Ooh. You got some
look at this. It's the Buku Dolores.
Go check out?
I don't ever remember DVDs coming in this. I've seen some weird boxes in the early days.
That looks like a video game pack. Also, your disc is upside down.
No, that's to keep people guessing.
I'm doing the wrong one.
I don't know what you're doing.
Ooh,
You just
uh-oh,
broke
we're
the TV.
lagging. Not lagging over here, though.
That's tight.
I flipped it upside down.
So I've seen some weird packaging on DVDs. Never this configuration.
Look at that. See? I fixed it for you.
Wow. He hates everything. So,
I like, because if we really look at this box, they're looking through a keyhole.
the keyhole and the Sybil Shepherd is the main guy there.
Yeah.
And I would make the argument that even though she's a guest star, I would say she's in more of the movie than Michelle Phillips.
Yeah, than the wife.
So,
Yeah. Are we going to do a spoiler free of this? I don't want to.
well, we'll just talk about overlay of it. It's William Shatner is a married man. He's married to Michelle Phillips, 3 kids, a house, and he is he works for an aeronautics firm.
He makes airplane parts.
Airplane parts.
Airplane parts.
Looks like a McDonnell Douglas or
What was his name? It was something.
Lockheed Martin. What do you mean? His name?
Yeah.
Charles?
I don't think it was,
Was it?
Charles. I know-
Bob is the fake name he gives.
Yeah, that's the fake
Chris?
name. Might have been Chris.
Chris.
I think it was Chris. Actually, you might say on the box.
And
Christopher!
and the wife is Katie, and the lady,
We don't get to know her name.
Miss Carpenter's here. You can get a
Ooh.
notification. That's happening to me all the time.
That happened to me yesterday.
I never get Beats notifications anymore. I just have to ask backwards on them.
Yeah.
And one time I got a notification on the screen for him that was a week in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Yet meanwhile, I knew at the time he must be live because that's the time he puts on there. And I had to dig and dig and dig, and then there it was.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So don't feel bad about not getting a notification. Don't ask me. Maybe we were so boring yesterday that YouTube now doesn't recommend us to anyone.
Yep.
Plus, we didn't do laser brains. So maybe that's people are confused or whatever it is.
It still should alert people who are subscribed to us.
I don't know how the thing works.
Yeah, I don't.
I never get any notifications.
Yeah, I didn't get a notification we were going live either.
I am subscribed to probably 100 different things, and I never get a notification about anything.
Oh, I do.
I never do. I have to make appointments. But anyways, we're talking about William Shatner,
Secrets of a Married Man.
Sybil Shepherd, and Michelle Phillips, Secrets of a Married Man. It's a TV movie. I'm almost positive this was a TV movie. You
Does
know,
it
I
say
probably
it was a
should have looked
TV
up
movie?
IMDb, but I'm pretty sure that I heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, don't ask me how I know about this. I can't tell you how I know.
Did you find it somewhere?
Somehow it dropped into my brain, so then I punched in and looked for it, and then here it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember what the initial spark was, other than I hear William Shatner and cheesy TV movie, and I've got to see it.
Yeah.
So the synopsis is the guy's married. He works for aerospace. He's got a wife and 3 kids, and you follow him around for an hour and a half of his.
Because it's
how
got,
about
it's got a build.
Is it a midlife crisis or?
It's just he's having marital problems.
Right.
I think that's
Sort
what
of. I mean, these are pretty low key problems, yeah?
He's getting nagged. The kids won't shut up.
Right, but that's baseline shit.
He's getting yelled at by his boss. Like, he's down in the dumps.
The boss yelled at him? That was his friend telling him if they don't get their shit together, they're going to get laid off.
Yeah, so he was stressed out.
Wasn't his boss.
He was stressed. His wife doesn't love him. Well, she does, but...
You're throwing a lot of shade at this movie that none of that was discussed. In fact, the exact opposite.
Dude, you gotta look between the lines.
Okay.
Sounds like she was just in it for the new house.
But would you say this is a midlife crisis?
I mean, he wasn't out buying Ferraris and stuff.
No, I don't think he had I mean, essentially he was.
I guess. I think that's the guy who was cheating on his wife because he was
It's
not
not
happy.
cheating. It's not an affair.
Cheating is when you go and you do it with someone else who's not your wife. That's cheating.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's going to be a problem.
An affair is even worse because, like, you fall in love with the chick.
And that's no good either?
That affair is no good either. Affair is worse than cheating. I
Why am I
think.
flash forwarding a couple years and this tape is being played in the courtroom?
Yeah, well,
Anyways, so I guess we're going to have to spoil it now. So if you're not going to watch this movie, or just because of the way we describe it, you want to see it for real,
mm-hmm.
then you should cover your ears or
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't want to do a non-spoiler one because I want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, can I mention something right off the top? William Shatner is William Shatner.
It's a great movie.
But
Oh, you don't like the character he plays?
he plays his character as
Yep.
William Shatner, but everything is just a little. He's a little higher voice, and he's a little.
He's more dad.
Oh, but he's almost like a rug. He's getting trampled on every which way he looks. He's a real milk toast.
See, he's looking to. Well, maybe that's what they're trying to get across.
But it's just funny him doing it, and it doesn't work.
I thought it was nice.
He does good as someone in command or a power.
Well,
of
you got to
authority.
show that he's just unhappy with his life and he's got to go to this. If he was in command, he would have already taken care of this and whatever.
I don't think I've ever seen him anything where he wasn't an alpha. And this one, he is a beta.
Mm-hmm.
Soy boy.
Soy boy.
All right, so why don't you, and nobody likes listening to me talk, why don't you talk about this movie?
What do you want me to talk about?
Well, I want you to talk, what do we see?
New house.
It's not a new house.
No, we want a new house.
So you want to get right into the wife nagging.
Yeah, because that was my favorite part.
Okay, so the wife nags. And this is low-level nagging.
Mm-hmm.
I hear worse things on a daily. But this chick keeps talking about how they got 3 kids,
Mm-hmm.
so they're like, we need a bigger house. She said, we need a bigger house, and
The
she
kids
drops
say
that
they
in.
need a bigger house too.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
one.
they also want a bigger house because they
Yeah.
want their own rooms.
I just ignore kids, so I probably didn't hear that.
Yeah, me too.
But the wife keeps, no matter what they're doing, fits in about a new house, saving for a new house.
It started
we need a new
getting
house.
comical at some point.
Yes.
Because normally when you're like, nah, it was like, oh, we're working towards that big house. She was like, well, when we get our bigger house,
Right.
you know, she
She's
kept
like,
sprinkling it in there.
Hold on, I'll run out to the store and get some milk. Well, if we had a bigger house with a bigger refrigerator.
We could have had 2 things of milk and not run out as fast. By the way, can I also point out comically, she is constantly grocery shopping.
Was she?
She's coming home with groceries. She's talking about grocery shopping.
Well, you know
He's
why,
sending
right?
him to go grocery shopping.
Would you like to know why?
Why?
Because I saw her come home and she took out her eggs and they were clearly empty. She
Yeah.
got ripped off.
So we had to keep going back to the grocery store till we
Right.
got those eggs.
Right. This is
Yeah.
an empty container.
She was holding the carton of eggs. Imagine this is the carton of eggs. You know, you hold it like this,
Right.
and then she was holding it like this.
One finger.
Yeah. So anyway, just like that. So they were doing groceries. They were doing new house a lot. I was noticing they were hitting.
Well, she
that
was.
Yeah, that was her acting choice. Was
She seems
Eggs.
disinterested.
mm-hmm.
He even one of the first things he says, "Where's that lace bikini I got you?" And she's like, I don't know.
I'm not wearing that to work. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm not wearing. I'm gonna be scratching all day. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where to. Just totally like.
But also, like, when it got to the points where he was, like, describing what he wanted, he wasn't very communicative. He was like, you should just know.
Well, this is a
Yeah.
TV movie in the '80s. He's
Yeah.
only going to go so far, right?
Exactly.
But that's really the drama of this. I mean, what pushes him over is nothing nowadays.
And all of his guy friends were kind of pushing him towards it.
So well,
They were kind of nudging a little bit.
but that was sort of the '80s too.
Yeah.
A man's man.
It was like, listen, you gotta have a pro, basically saying go get a hookah.
right, but that was at the convention. The first friend who tells him is sort of pushing him is his daily buddy.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes to a convention, and that's when this was that guy from Texas or what?
He looked like an oil guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're sitting at the bar, and they see another customer,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got clearly 2 hooers,
Mm-hmm.
and he's looking over there. That sounds like a good idea. And then Tex is like, of course. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Come on, stupid.
He says you got to do a professional, is what he says. That's the line. I remembered it because I was like, okay.
So cut to he's up in his hotel room, and then the bellman calls him
Mm-hmm.
and says, "Your package is here, sir."
Your package is here.
And I clocked that immediately.
Yeah.
You were looking for a package.
No, I wasn't.
You were.
Nuh-uh.
You were like, package is here. I go, yeah,
I think he's calling up a
That's the
hooker.
chick.
How did you know?
It's just It was too silly.
No, but I know a
What
hooker
package would he be getting?
How did you know what I was thinking in that
I
moment?
saw your face, and when
I
I
knew he
said,
was getting
no,
a
it's
hooker.
probably a chick, you were like,
I did not.
you look like a...
I didn't think he was getting a package. Or, you know what it could have been?
You look like one of those eggs fell on your head.
You can't listen?
Yeah, sure, sorry.
What if it was a situation where the text guy sent up a chick and he didn't do it?
No way.
I mean, it could have been. No, I know.
Oh, the Texan? How would the Texan know what room he was in?
I don't know. They were doing business, chatting.
Those
They were
two,
getting drinks together.
Those two were a hair above polite conversation.
Listen, man.
Those guys aren't going to a barbecue later.
That could have been what I was thinking.
Okay.
If you swore you saw a look, I knew it was a chick being sent up either way.
I thought I saw a little smoke coming out of your ears. Mm-hmm. You're right. Maybe you were.
Yeah, it's just, you think so little of me.
Well, I just looked at your face.
You know, you think you can tell a lot from a face.
Yes. A face, yes. I can tell a lot from a face.
You don't like to talk either. You're like William Shatner in this movie.
I keep my cards close to the vest.
You're like William Shatner in this movie.
No, because I'm not a beta.
Yeah, you're like that.
I sure wish I had some soy.
You're like, I donated my brain the other day.
Oh.
Aww.
Wow.
What happened?
As soon as you think something's not for you, you start attacking. Anyways, so the chick shows up, and what's funny is the chick comes in, and she's running her mouth about all her problems.
No, that was the second chick.
I thought that was the first chick.
The first chick was the one who wanted to keep the lights on so he could see everything.
That was after her blabber. She came right in the door, something about Oregon. And...
No. That was a different hooker. The blabbermouth and then the first chick were two different hookers.
What did the first chick do?
The first chick was the one, he was like, hey, maybe we should have a drink or talk.
Oh, you're right.
And she was like,
the better looking one was like,
she's the one who got him engrossed.
Right. And he goes, yeah, I don't know what I want to do here.
And then she just went in.
Hard charger.
And she said, I want to keep the lights on. Because then that comes up later when he goes with his wife and he's starting to kiss her and stuff. And she's like, turn off the lights. And he's like, no, I want a ciggy. And she's like, no, turn off the lights. And she's like, fine, keep the light on.
Yeah, she has like a brat fit.
Yeah, and then it ruins the mood.
Right. So it was the second chick that was a blabbermouth.
Yeah, and then he goes and gets another hooker.
Locally now. He's not at the convention anymore.
Local hooker, and she's the blabbermouth. She's the one who won't stop talking about her problems. And he's just silently getting his money out.
A boyfriend. Oh, and I have to mention the first chick laid the big line, no kissing, only for my boyfriend.
He said, I got to save something for my boyfriend.
Right. And this is 5 or 6 years before Pretty Woman. That sort of laid out that trope.
Yeah.
So it looks like they were cheating off of this guy's script or whatever it was. The second chick is all blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he's starting to see hookers on the regular.
He starts rolling his eyes, and then she's like, oh, okay. Well, then she shuts up and gets out of business.
Well, after that second hooker, he's taking a shower.
Yep.
And it's like implied that he notices like something's up with his junk.
Some kind of
rash. And so he goes to the doctor. He's all freaked out. He has an STD. I thought it was going towards STD. So we were all like...
Right, but I guess that was too risque to say on TV.
Yeah. And the guy was like, oh, it was maybe you changed laundry detergents or something. Allergy.
And I couldn't figure out. You thought it was he didn't have an STD.
No.
And I thought the doctor was just saying that to sort of let him off the hook. But you're saying no, he didn't have an STD.
The reason I think he was making that face at him because he was obviously worried he had an STD, and he probably saw he was like married. And maybe he was judging him silently.
Pretty judgy for a doctor.
Once again, reading in between the lines.
The doctors can't be judgy, or then they won't get the truth out of their
But
patients.
after that scare, he's like, never again. Never getting a hooker.
He said that, and we all kind of looked at each other like,
Well, let's see. There's another hour and a half of this movie.
I'm done. That was a close call.
The rest of the movie is just loving my wife.
Right. Which that situation doesn't seem to get better.
Yeah, and then at some point she starts getting nervous. She's like, are you staying late? Are you having an affair? And he's like, no.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, I would
Are you
never.
crazy? But then there was also the subplot of the youngest kid faking being sick all the time at
Yeah, that
school
never
to
really
get home.
resolved.
I think it's to add to his annoyance.
Was it to add to his annoyance or supposed to be like, see, I was running away from my problems just like my kid. I was just doing it in a more adult way.
No, I think it was to
Okay.
show what misery this guy was in every minute with the I want a new house.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't worry. When we get the new house, it'll be okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She'll start to get friendly again.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid keeps doing that. That comes up a couple of times, and that turns into an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
'Cause-
just thinking, in work, he's not paying attention anymore, and a piece of the airplane part during a test, an important test because there was a lot of people in there,
Yeah.
failed the test.
So he's
By the way, he was this close to
To hitting
passing
the
the
mark,
test.
yeah.
I mean, it's not the end of the world. They can make adjustments and then be
Mhm.
back on, but that was there.
Well, apparently it starts from scratch all over again. You don't know. Listen, I've never made airplane parts before. Could be a lot harder than we think.
I think if you get close, you're on the right track.
Okay.
Now, if the next test it's worse, then I'd say
So
a mistake
it's-
has been made.
I am under the impression at that point he goes to a lingerie shop, right?
Right. So now he's decided no more hookers.
No more hookers. I'm gonna make it work with my wife. I'm gonna get her something not lacy.
And he shows up at a lingerie store that's
Mhm.
that's on the main street. I think that's it's that strip in LA. I think it was Hollywood. There's Hollywood and Vine, and that's where the Capitol Records building. So Hollywood is that big long with all those stores. Remember the movie theater?
Yeah.
It was all the same street the entire movie.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, but I'm just saying that was the shittiest store I ever saw.
Yeah.
All the clothes were crammed together, and there was about 3 racks.
Yeah, because it's probably not a lingerie store.
Right.
They probably just put it in there. It's whatever they had.
Could have been, or it might have been, and they
Yeah.
said, "Hey, this place is cheap. Look at, there's no frills on the walls or anything."
Hmm.
So he starts looking around for lingerie, but
My favorite part is when he goes up to the chick working there. Is like, hey, I need something for my wife. I want something sexy, not too sexy. Like he says that. And then she's like, well, go look over there.
no, go look around.
Go look around. He was obviously asking for help. And she's just like, oh, why don't you go look around? I was like, I was going to do that anyway.
And it wasn't a young kid. The clerk was mature.
Yeah, she
Which
could have
you
went and helped.
Assume would be responsible and help the customer, maybe even the
Yeah.
owner. Very weird the way she just blew him off.
Yeah, so he's like looking at this rack now. And then there's someone else in the store.
Yes, and then what
Who's
happens?
in the store?
Sybil Shepherd.
And she's looking at him.
She's looking at him like he is one fresh piece of meat.
And he's sitting there picking out stuff. She'll walk over to his area. Then he'll look at her. And then he'll walk to a different area. And then she'll walk over there. And then they'll look at each other. And then at some point she leaves. He pays for, he gets a little,
She leaves as he's checking out.
yeah. And
So she's getting ready for the ambush.
he's checking out. And then he goes out and she's there.
Right.
I just had to tell you, you're so handsome.
Yeah. And what's funny about that is she was looking at him like, hey, that's William Shatner.
Mm-hmm.
Not, hey, that's Chris from Aerospace.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. She's quite a few levels up above.
Yeah. Well, she probably saw the suit and was like, ooh, maybe he's got money.
But so anyway, she had a great line.
What was her line?
She's like, would you like to go out? And we can just go straight to my apartment, because why waste time
Why
dating?
waste time?
Why go out to dinner? Why rent a hotel room?
Just come on over.
Yeah, just come on over to my apartment.
And
That
he's
makes sense.
like,
that's making sense all of a sudden.
yeah, suddenly,
But she lays a price tag on him that makes his eyes water.
what was it?
125.
125.
Remember one of the encounters on the street, he was haggling with this chick over $40.
Mm-hmm. He said like $60.
That was at the end. He gave in
Okay.
and upped his price.
Yeah, because he had picked
Oh, it was
up.
50. And she goes, 50? You can have one of them. And then a couple of skranks over there on the side. And he goes, I'd offer them 40.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, how about 65?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, all right.
Yeah,
She had an attitude, though.
because he had a few moments where he was pulling chicks off the street. We skipped over the part where there are the chicks on the side of the road during the day.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. When he's first scoping out the chicks over on, wherever they all hang
yeah,
out.
wherever they're all hanging.
Middle of the day, and there was just one after another, the most
Mhm.
Hollywood skanks you've ever seen.
So,
And then the other thing that was really weird is he keeps checking out this Asian chick because
Mhm.
somebody had said something before
Yeah.
that amounts to nothing ever.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is it's showing intrigue. Now
But
he's
they
like,
kept showing Asian chicks. Bump. Okay, here it comes. He's finally gonna bag an Asian chick, and then it just goes nowhere. I guess
no,
when
it goes
Sybil,
somewhere.
where?
He's pulling his money out to take that chick in his car,
Yeah.
and some guy gets there first.
Oh, that's right.
And
Snooze, you
then,
lose.
yeah, it was a snooze you lose, and then he witnessed cops coming,
Vice,
Vice
and they
coming
have a
and
bus.
arresting both of them. Or,
Just the guy.
yeah, because she was undercover.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, then I don't know.
Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. They're not clear about that. But then you see
Yeah.
her again.
So,
Maybe
and
that's
he-
why he laid off.
And he runs away in his car. He speeds off.
Like he's never gonna do it.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot that part.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that was an
But we're on
important one.
Sybil Shepherd now.
Okay. She's here. It doesn't take much convincing.
Well, listen, I mean, if you're giving a set of facts like that,
Because
how are you gonna say
She
no?
throws a number out and he's like, "You're that good, huh?"
Yeah, but his face was like, you're crazy.
Well,
I think that's why we had the haggling scene earlier.
yeah. Just to show like price comparison.
Yep, and she promises not a money back guarantee, but
Mm-hmm.
a satisfaction probability. How
Yeah.
about that?
So he's like, "Okay, let's go. Let's go."
And then they get to her apartment,
Mhm.
and she lays the best line on him.
Mhm.
You can come over here and call me whenever you want,
Mhm.
or not.
Or not. She knows he's married.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, she didn't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not gonna talk about my kids or anything about me. I'm just gonna listen to you. And this guy's like, oh my God, finally someone's gonna listen to me.
Yeah.
So that's how she really closes.
Yeah, and then it's you can come over as much as you want, as little as you want. I don't want to. She throws in a I don't want to break up your marriage, that kind of thing.
Right. I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize your marriage.
Mhm.
And you call me, I don't call you.
He starts getting a little addicted, though, don't you think?
He absolutely takes it a little too far because she is perfect
Yeah.
for what he's looking for.
Mhm.
You're not getting any gripes.
Mhm.
Never mentions she wants a bigger house.
Yeah.
None of her kids are faking sick at school,
Yeah.
etc.
Mhm. And he starts taking loans out.
He actually goes to, and it's funny how they did it at his work. I guess they have a advance or loan department, or was that a bank? I couldn't figure that out
I couldn't either. I thought it was his work, but then I think it was a bank.
because it's the weirdest looking bank I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like they just like made it.
I think it was his work because no teller. There was one teller window at the bank, and it wasn't even a window, and then just this long
I couldn't tell you.
paper pushing. Anyway, he takes out a signature loan, is what they call it.
Mhm.
And what's very strange is the woman goes, okay, you can have this amount at this interest rate,
Mhm.
but never says what the loan amount is.
Mhm. Just says 13% interest rate.
13.9.
13.9, 14, if you will.
So, well, they always hit you with that
I know.
to get you. And he takes the money.
Because he's going to
Because-
keep paying this hooker.
Every shot, it's a $125 shot
Mhm.
that you go over there.
And one time in particular, they just go out for drinks.
Yeah, that's
Just to
that's
talk.
later, yeah.
Well, and then she's like, I canceled an appointment to be here. He's like, huh, you should charge me. She's like, well.
Yeah, well, I lost a
Well.
client, and I've got she lays this trip on him that she's in nursing school,
Yep.
and she's always about to take a big test, and she always needs money.
She needs money because she's about to pay tuition too.
Right. But that's
Always just
mentioned,
about to.
that's mentioned a couple of times. I'm like, well, how much time has passed here?
Yeah.
Because usually you pay your tuition for your quarter
Mhm.
or semester or whatever the hell it is.
She keeps saying that.
Okay, so clearly now the wife is getting suspicious because he's constantly at work late, and she finally calls over there and says, you weren't there when I called.
Mhm. And he doesn't want to kiss her and stuff now.
Well, now he's playing like, hey, what's up, right?
Yeah.
And so she hits
I
him
don't
with that, and he goes,
care.
I was in the metallurgy department.
Metal area.
Yeah, so he wouldn't think to look there, the guy on the phone. So she's like, okay, well, so the next time I call and they can't find you, that's where you'll be? And that's when he goes, I don't want to talk about it. And he leaves the
No,
room.
he says, I don't like you keeping tabs on me.
Yeah, right. That was really weird. And he goes into the garage.
Mm-hmm.
So now he has turned the tables on this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's chasing him.
Mm-hmm.
And they have one of the weirdest conversations in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll leave that treat for you if you watch this movie.
Yeah.
That conversation is worth sitting through the whole film. It's so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So then what happens?
What does happen?
Well, I don't remember why he decides to stop seeing
I
her.
remember. Okay, let me take over.
Okay.
So at some point, the wife comes over in the sexy clothes that he bought her. She's wearing like that silk thing he got at the store. And she's like trying to do all the things he said to do. Like, or kind of the things he wants. He wants to be seduced.
Right.
That kind of thing. And then he's like, you don't have to do this. And then she just starts sobbing.
Yeah, because he was just like,
she's like,
no,
I
thanks.
don't want to lose you.
Right.
And she's like, I love you. And he's like, I love you and I don't want to lose you either.
So that's what his come to Jesus moment.
That was, okay, I need to stop seeing the hooker.
By the way, did I mention this is William Shatner doing all of this?
Yeah. Well, that's why we keep doing our little impressions every now and again.
But it's just funny. This is him.
Yeah.
Captain Kirk never put up with any of this stuff.
Exactly.
He found a green chick and that was it.
Green chick over.
No nonsense.
Mm-hmm. So, what is it? He goes one last time to see her.
Yeah, all of a sudden it cuts to her apartment and he's like, this is it. It's over. And he's sort of apologizing, saying sorry. And she's like, you don't have to apologize. No problem.
She said we can.
You said you could stop anytime you
And then
want.
he hands her a check that she doesn't take at first. We
It's
don't know.
a little wad of money.
Oh, was it a wad of money?
Yeah.
He gives her just like a parting gift, and she's like, "No, I couldn't." And then a few minutes later, it turns in.
But they were also letting you know he'd run out of that signature loan money too.
Yeah.
This guy was near broke and didn't know how to keep it going anyway. That may be the real reason it's over.
Yeah, both reasons. She's like, "No," and then she's like, yeah, but my nursing degree. She's like, I'll pay you back.
Right. Yeah, she needed. Well, no, that was later.
No, because then
the loan money.
He hands her the wad of cash back, and she takes it.
Oh, that's right. And she goes, "Hey, maybe you could sponsor."
Yeah, my degree.
Right, because he goes, "Yeah, I feel bad."
Because she had a bruise on her.
Oh, that's right.
And he didn't want her turning tricks anymore.
Right. And so she's like, "You can sponsor it, then I don't have to turn tricks." So he goes, "Well, take this and we'll see." That's my favorite. We'll see.
We'll see.
Which means, no.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Mm-hmm.
So then what happens?
So as he's leaving, he's going back to his car, just from this exchange. The two guys from Miami Vice earlier come up. They're asking for his ID. What's your name? Do you know who you're hanging out with?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, she's a nursing student.
Right. And they were like, she's not a nursing student. She's got a pimp. His name is...
Oh, what was his name? Help me.
Does it say it?
No.
Too bad. It's a great name.
Oh, let me look, because it was a name that you need to know.
Cornelius or something like that?
No. What is it? Secrets of a
Bornelius?
Married Man Characters.
Cast.
Okay.
What's this camp?
Jesse.
Jesse was his name?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was as good as I thought it was.
Oh, well.
So anyway,
It's
and
Jesse.
the guy goes, her pimp is Jesse. And he's looking at him like, what the hell are you talking about? Because, yeah, and actually he killed a mechanic who got in his way.
And there was nobody
And
to
he's
testify.
got about 10 chicks.
Yeah.
You see. So they take all his information, his ID and stuff, and then it says, you got to stay away from there. So he doesn't get busted because they didn't really see anything. He was just leaving the apartment.
Yeah.
Now he's like, oh my God, he can't believe it.
Yeah, he got betrayed. Doesn't he call her and yell at her?
No.
No?
So what happens was, now he just goes back to his life, and then she starts calling him at work constantly.
Constantly.
And he won't answer the phone until finally he gives in.
He's like, how did you get this number? Kind of thing.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, we'll meet, but we're not meeting at your apartment. We're going to meet somewhere in public.
Mm-hmm. And that's when he kind of is like, you lied to me about all this stuff.
Right. She starts giving him a trip, and he starts laying on it, and then all of a sudden her face changes.
And
And
then
it's no more sweetie poo.
And then we get into the real.
You're a sucker.
Mm-hmm.
I look for suckers like you to drain you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to tell you, if you want me to go away and not rat you out, I'm going to need 5 G's.
Because it's to pay off
Because
Jesse's
Jesse's in trouble.
with money and he needs 5 G's.
He bought some drugs. He hasn't been able to repay it
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't buy it. He bought it on credit. And he wants 5 G's for you to get out clean.
Yep.
And then we see a little bit of Captain Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs her,
Yeah.
pushes her into a payphone, and gives
Yeah.
her the money. He's like, call! You're going to ruin my life? Go ahead. Do it.
Well, because she was threatening, like, if you don't give me the 5,000, I'm going to
Right. And
have lunch with your wife. And he's like, go do it.
instead of saying no or anything like that, he's like, hey, go for it.
Go for it.
And then that's when she goes, okay, well, listen, I'm just the messenger, so you're going to...
I'm just telling you what Jesse said.
Jesse wants. We'll see how that goes. I'll let him know what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to, he's leaving work. Jesse is now blocking his car in a Jaguar. Not your typical pimp.
Mm-hmm.
Clean cut businessman.
Yep.
And he just tells him, I'm going to need that money. He says it very polite too.
Yeah,
I'm going to need that
money.
money, etc.
Otherwise, I'm going to talk to your wife.
Right.
He threatens to...
He threatens to do something, and then so Jesse opens up his coat, and there's a gun. He goes,
No,
you don't want to be my enemy.
He says he's going to have his wife turn tricks for him.
Oh, well, that was after.
No, and then he starts lunging at him, and then he shows him the gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on.
Well, he
Listen,
showed him
I'm
the
a
gun.
pro at this movie.
All right, take it easy.
I'm a pro.
Yeah, obviously this made an impact on you.
Well, we saw it a few hours ago. You think you remember some of it.
Well, I remember what happened. I don't remember the sequence, I guess.
Oh, well, the
But
sequence
anyway,
is
the
important.
point was, you don't want to be my enemy, shows him the gun, and then Shatner knocks it off.
And then...
Well, so then he walks off, and we're like, what's going to happen, right?
Him and the wife are in the yard gardening.
Right. And they live on a circular
Also, that was
cul-de-sac.
100% a metaphor there. He's like, you got to get it at the root, otherwise it's just going to come back next time.
Yeah, I wasn't even listening.
That 100% had to be a metaphor for what he's going through right now. He's like, you got to fix the marriage at the root, otherwise it's just going to keep coming back, you know?
So Jesse shows up in the Jaguar and goes through the circle, looks at
And he does
Shatner
this.
and the wife, and he goes, eh.
No, he holds up a 5 for $5,000.
Oh, is that what was going on? I thought he was
Yeah.
saying hi.
No, he was doing $5,000. It could have looked like a thing, but
Right, I thought it was high.
he was doing...
So then this movie takes another turn I never saw coming.
Mm-hmm.
He just fesses up.
He tells the
Hey,
wife,
this guy wants $5,000, and this is a whole shit show.
hooker,
Yep.
you know? And she slaps him 3 times.
Yeah, and they look like real slaps.
They look like
She slaps the shit out of it. He must have been an asshole on the set.
I think
and
that
this
was in
her big moment.
That was in her contract.
I think he was just, he's constantly late, got an attitude. I was like, okay, well, in this scene, you're going to slap him 3 times. And she's like, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
All right, we got to make it real, Bill.
Yeah, come on, man.
And she slaps the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, well, you got to get out of here with the kids because this is going to be a problem. She's like, yeah, right.
I better go.
And she grabs the kids and takes off. But
You
now,
know, did you
here's
hear
the part
line,
where... What?
line. You got us into this mess. You're going to get us out of it.
That was as she was getting in the cab, yeah. And then, so don't tell me what happens, because I don't remember what happens. I don't remember the sequence.
So, he's just like, I'm not going to pay.
To who? He told Jesse?
No, he told her, the wife.
So
He's like, I'm not going to pay that $5,000. Like, well, you got to fix it, blah, blah, blah. And he's just kind of waiting and seeing what's going to happen, see how it escalates, because he like goes and visits the mom's place, which is also giving away where she is, which I thought was kind of a weird move.
If Jesse's following him, yeah.
And he's like, he calls the mother-in-law and is like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, can you put it on the phone?
Disappointed,
No, click.
I'm disappointed.
But so at some point, he talks to Sybil Shepherd again on the phone, and they hatch a plan. He's going to give her, I think it's $1,500 on a plane ticket.
It wasn't on the phone.
It wasn't?
No.
How did he find her?
He was driving, and she forces her way into his car
Oh,
and
that's
says,
right.
"Go around the corner. The girl,
That's
my
right.
sisters are watching," which is what she calls the other hookers.
Oh yeah, other whores.
So and she's like, he's got us working round the clock, 14-hour shifts. We need to get that money. He's making us do whatever will come.
Squeezing all of the clients.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
And it was, you even have to take van jobs. You don't go in a van job, you're going to end up with a pick in the side of your head.
Boy, you were grabbing every line, huh? This is your movie.
I told you it was my new favorite. Well, it was pretty ridiculous.
It was absolute cheeseball.
She was like getting into the whole hooker. Like if I was, if I was doing like a
The problem is you
thing,
can't believe anything she says because she's clearly a good salesman.
and she's like, the bruise was real. The bruise was real, and that's what convinces him. And he's like, you're. And then later it's on the phone. Okay, well, you want out? How are you gonna get out? How far? And he's like, okay, I will meet you at the airport. I will give you the plane ticket, and just before you board, I'm gonna hand you cash to make sure it doesn't go to your pimp.
Right. Now, but here's the weird part.
Mm-hmm.
So he drives to the airport and then is hanging out in the parking lot waiting for her.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to give the money at the...
Well, I guess they're gonna walk in together.
Okay, I think I would have met her inside the terminal.
Yeah. I don't know.
Especially back
But-
in these days, you could go right to the plane.
Listen. She don't show up.
No, who does?
Jesse shows up.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
he says he had to make an example of her because the sisters told on her.
Right, and something about beat the shit out of her and she's going to have to wire her jaw shut or something.
Yeah. He's like, do
Problem
you
is-
like this? Do you like this? Do you like beating up women? You like killing guys?
And that's when I knew what was up.
Yeah.
As soon as he started getting tough. But
And he's like because he's like, give me whatever money you have. Because he had like 1,500. He didn't have the 5,000.
and the plane ticket, yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm taking whatever you got. And then he's like, do you enjoy that?
You know, enjoy beating women and making
Killing
them
mechanics?
and living off of them.
she
And he
she
goes,
told me what you did.
You even told me you killed a mechanic, and I'm like, uh-huh. And
Mhm.
then he goes, well, yeah, I did. And I'm like, oh, no way.
He's like, yeah.
And
Like-
then something happened, and then that's when Shatner
No, the big
gets
one.
mad.
He says, now get this guy or something
But
like that.
what did the guy say to really flip him?
Did he say something?
It was maybe that was when he laid on the wire her jaw shut or something.
Yeah, maybe.
And then that's when he goes, arrest this guy.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact line, which is a shame because it was awesome.
And then the cops come out of nowhere. I mean, they were hiding perfectly.
And they hop out with their guns, point at him, and
And you think that's it, right?
Jesse takes the tiniest dagger.
Well, that's
About this-
after. They have him, and then he does a move.
Mm-hmm.
And he has that little dagger. And I mean, it's the size of a paper clip.
This is the size of the dagger. He's like,
Flips around,
mm-hmm.
and has got Shatner
Holding
by
up
the
his
throat. And he
neck.
says he's going to kill him.
I'm gonna kill
And they
him.
sneak over to the Jaguar.
They get in the Jaguar, and he's like, nobody snitches on me.
Nobody dogs
Nobody
me.
dogs me.
Nobody dogs me.
That was
And
a good line.
He's in the back, and then another cop comes out of nowhere and sticks the gun in.
He was in the car.
He was in the car? I thought he was behind the car.
In the car.
I don't think that's right.
Popped out of the back seat.
I thought he was coming around from the trunk.
Are you sure? How would he got the window open?
Well, now you got another reason to go watch this.
Yeah, 'cause
Who's
now-
right?
Now we need to see who's right.
What should we bet?
$5 million.
How about it? If I'm wrong and the people will tell us, we're not going to watch it.
Nobody's gonna tell us.
Right. I will give you a $5.
Okay. And if I'm wrong,
No. You
No.
give me a $5 if I'm right. If you're right, I'll cut my hair like your bangs, and then I'll have bangs.
I like my bangs.
What do you think? Well, I don't think they look good on me, but I'll do that. What do you think? Or you want the cash?
I want the cash.
Nobody's going to do it anyway.
Okay.
So they got him, and it wasn't clear if he was wearing a wire or anything because the guy asked him, "Oh, it's my word
No.
against him," and the guy goes, "No, you just told him you killed him, and he's going to testify in
I think-
court." And I was like,
I think the two guys overheard number one, and then William Shatner said he's going to testify.
They certainly
this.
were close enough.
Yeah. So
So then Jesse's arrested, and Shatner goes over to Sybil Shepherd's apartment, and he's banging on the door. Come on, come on, come on. I'm thinking, oh, she might have moved out or moved on.
or she was faking. when
Or
she didn't
faking.
actually
You
get
never
beat
know
up.
if anybody's telling the truth.
You open up the door, and she is
She has had the shit kicked out of her.
bruises.
I mean, she looks like a punching bag.
Mm-hmm.
and he hands her the money and the
Yeah,
ticket.
there's
He
like a
says,
silent
"Get
like
outta here."
recognition that she wasn't lying, and then he just hands her
Mhm.
the money, and she says like thank you, and then he leaves, and then he goes.
And we're assuming
Yeah.
Sybil Shepherd flies away off into the sunset. We don't
Yeah.
know.
I assume. And he goes to the wife's house. The kid's sitting on the porch. He's like, I think the kid knows because the kid's kind of acting
The
weird.
kid's got a tude.
Yeah.
Brian. He's got an
Yeah.
orange soccer ball, which I've never seen before in my life.
And he said, "What's that? A baseball?"
And the kid's sitting there like this on the stairs.
Yeah.
Before he even sees Shatner, he's just got a puss on.
Yeah, but then he
who
sees
knows what
Shatner. He's
happened.
kind of acting weird.
But he was doing that before.
Yeah.
Before Shatner got out of the car or anything, because like you can see him in the long shot.
Yeah. So he's like, "Did you go get your mom?"
And he does it,
Yeah.
even though he's got a tude.
He goes and gets
And
the
then
mom.
she comes right out that door.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's
she must
ready.
have been
Ready.
an inch away from the knob.
He's like, "Are you coming home?" She says, "No." He goes to turn away, and she's like, "But I'm ready to talk."
I'm like, oh God.
And he's like, "Ah."
They walk out onto the sidewalk,
And go for a walk.
make a left, and they just keep walking down the sidewalk, pretending they're having a conversation. You can see it, and then the movie just goes.
It fades to black, and then it reappears like something else is going to happen,
Right, and it's the same walk.
and then the credits roll.
Right. So it's I think that's to trick somebody watching TV. Like, oh, what's going to happen next?
Oh,
That
so-
wasn't over, and
Is
then
the
they come
pin
back
going to come back?
and they're walking again. I mean, cut right where it was, and
Yeah.
then the credits go right through. There.
Yeah, they were trying to get us, and they got me. We were like ready for part 2.
Now, the reason I want you to go and try to find a copy of this on disc, and you probably want this one because I don't know if they just burn off copies of this or. Wait a minute. This says rated R.
Oh,
You got to tell me if this was there's no way this was in a movie theater.
okay.
Because they don't show rated R movies on TV.
Of a married man.
And I've never heard of this company. They may have just thrown an R on here to get you to buy it.
1984 thriller/drama. Ooh, there's a lot of photos. There's a VHS. I want it.
Why would you want a VHS when you can
I
do
want
this?
it.
By the way, this kind of looks like shit.
Oh, they say he goes through a midlife crisis in the IMDb.
So the quality of this obviously came from a VHS on this DVD. This wasn't remastered or nothing. There's no way this was in a theater.
I'm not finding details. They're just telling me the story. Made for television erotic drama film.
But not that erotic, by the way. But they got an R rating on this.
It's $14 on Amazon.
I'm calling bullshit on that.
I wonder if they got a VHS for sale.
They got the fancy case.
Let me
Can't
check.
imagine this was printed in something else.
Oh my goodness, $22. Secrets of a Married Man VHS tape.
I wouldn't pay $22 for a VHS tape.
I'm pretty excited. And this one is from a different country.
Well, great.
Greek
Sure.
subs.
What's the matter,
They got the Greek version. Take a look at that.
Pretty good. I don't think she ever wore this outfit.
I don't think so either. I think she was posing. You think anybody could see that?
But you can see that
Yeah.
after an aftermural.
Give it. That's Greek. Okay, let me see.
You can see it. Look.
Yeah, $22. You're getting that from
Look
me
at
for
that
my
now.
birthday, right?
Look at that shot.
Yeah.
That looks like the poster, actually, but
Well,
that
there
wouldn't
you
be a
go.
poster because it wasn't in theaters.
Well, there's also this one. There's a lot of
I don't remember any of
photos.
that. Boy, they were really hyping this out, huh?
I know.
Those look like lobby cards.
This looks legit, man.
Anybody out there who the director or somebody who made this film, could you tell us? Was this in a theater or are you
Ooh,
just
and you get-
bullshitting us? Yeah, she
Ooh
was
la
never
la.
in that either.
Well, that's the outfit she wore for the photo shoot.
That was later.
Hey, William Graham was the director.
Who he?
Will Graham,
Oh, from
the Hannibal,
Hannibal.
joke. Yeah.
Oh, that
I don't think it
that
was
was a
him.
joke. Oh,
Director is
Oh.
William Graham. Initial
Uh-oh.
release September 24th, 1984.
TV, right?
Made for television.
Yeah. So, what is all this erotic thriller R rating on here?
Oh, maybe they're trying to get you excited about it.
Tell you what I'd like to
Ooh,
find.
and it's on Internet Archive for free. So you
I
guys can go watch it
thought
right
they
now.
went bankrupt.
Not Internet Archive.
Yeah, the government was suing them and suing them. They've been fighting it and fighting. Finally, the government said, "No, what you're doing is illegal."
Nope, I'm watching it. An
You're
hour and
not.
36
You're
minutes.
seeing a spinning whatever.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
It's still not working.
It's gonna happen.
I don't think so, bro.
I think it's gonna happen.
What's that feel like?
It was great.
It's
It's gonna
playing.
happen. I'm
It's
not leaving
playing.
till it happens.
Bum, 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 bum,
Oh,
bum.
Rhyme Time 816 says good V. I
Hey,
think
how
it's
you
good
doing, bro? I
video.
haven't seen him in a while. He does these long videos. They're pretty good.
Rhyme Time.
Yeah.
Oh, turn to a big screen.
All right.
Oh,
Well. Okay. Now, what language is it in?
you enjoying this?
Well,
Well, it's gotta load. Sorry. He's shaving.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that was a weird scene. Electric shaver. Yeah. It doesn't move its orientation? Or is
Let
broken?
me play with it. It's broken. Because I got screen lock on.
Why would you do that?
If I'm laying down and I don't want it to change.
You want the small picture?
No,
Oh,
if I'm laying
I don't
down,
want to see this too
I'm like
clearly.
this.
Make sure it's small.
Oh my goodness. Can't deal with a guy like you. It's on Internet Archive for free.
But it doesn't work.
It's working. Look it.
Okay, let's see a scene.
So the big screen doesn't work.
So if you want to see it really small,
But it's free.
at some point it's not worth free
Free.
if it's not an enjoyable experience. And this
Okay.
is we watched this on a big screen. It was great.
So, what's the ranking? 1 to 10.
Okay, so a normal ranking, this is about a 2.
No.
But
No.
I said that's a normal ranking.
No.
But you've got William Shatner, Butterfingers, Sybil Shepherd, and Michelle Phillips. Some of the worst writing I've ever seen. I'm giving this a 9.5.
That's funny. I was going to give it an 11.
Wow. I can sell you this for $50.
No, I can get it online for 20. I want the VHS, and I want to make everybody I know watch it.
Do you know what I would like to have?
Mm.
A VHS that somebody taped this off TV and all the commercials are in it
That'd be nice.
to see if that really was a tease at the end where they're
Yeah.
walking down the sidewalk. Plus, you get to see all the fun
That'd be nice.
movies. See if you can make that happen. Then I'll respect you.
No.
All right. Well, at least you tried.
All right. We ready, young man?
Yep. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you're going to go seek this movie out. It is worth it.
It's worth it.
It's not like The Room or anything that's so bad it's ridiculous, but it is bad enough that you want to see it. And a couple of really good twists.
A couple of good twists, couple of good lines.
There's no way I thought that guy was going to bring the wife in there and go, yeah, shit the bed.
Well, he was telling the hooker to go call her. He wasn't
Well, but
bluffing.
that was a bluff.
He wasn't bluffing.
Well,
Turns
no,
out-
because he was doing it and going, yeah, you're going to ruin my marriage. Is that what you want? That's a
Yeah.
bluff. Then when you go in there and confess.
He wanted to be the one to say it instead of Jesse. Or
Well, let me tell you, if
whatever.
it was me and I saw
Uh-huh.
Jesse waving, okay, I'd go, listen, I got another convention. Grab a suitcase and you never see me again. And then Jesse and everybody else can do whatever they want.
If you don't get the wife out of there,
Yeah, who cares? She's a pain in the ass. Here's your
New
big house.
house.
I'm out of here, so now you got an extra room.
new house. It's not an extra room. It's the same amount of room. It's just more room in the bed, maybe.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Come on, let's end this.
All right.
I'm ready to go party. Woo!
Sunday night. Listen, everybody, be safe. It's Martin Luther King Jr.
Tomorrow.
and pay your respects, all right? He had a great, what is his saying? I know he says, I have a dream, but he said to judge a man by the content of his character and not the color of his skin.
That's nice.
That is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's why he stands the test of time. So make sure you think about him tomorrow.
I will.
You got a presidential inauguration that's historic
Mm-hmm.
because you got a guy who was out and then back in. And that was after being shot in the head. So
I've already gotten the speech off
watch
camera.
watch a few minutes.
All right.
I don't think people realize just how incredible it is. But that and hopefully when the president is swearing in, he will mention Dr. King. If he has any class at all, which people say he doesn't.
If he has any class at all, he'll talk about his favorite movie,
You know,
Secrets of a Married Man.
I can't do a Trump.
You know.
Ew.
You
Can't do it.
know.
I'm not gonna even try.
Okay. You already tried.
I know. I'm just not. I'm giving up.
Okay, goodbye. I can't go.
I just do what I do.